Reporting to April. Good night to Dan. And what's up, my neighbour?
Right.
Hey.
Kind of about how it goes, isn't it? Keeps
Something like that.
Keeps it nice and clean. So how's the week been? How have you used to? Hey, how was your Hobbit stream?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
What was
Went the
total
full
amount you
12
raised?
hours. One of you has got feedback. It'll be you, Bilsy, you bloody noob. Every time. Okay, we can talk now because Bilsy's muted his mic.
Yeah.
We ended up streaming for the full 12 hours and
Oh, wow. Well done.
we raised
1577
Nice.
USD.
Nice.
And I get a minifig?
Yeah, we'll get you a minifig eventually.
All right.
When you fix your speakers, because you still got.
Still?
I can still hear myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fixed.
No more feedback.
Yeah, so we made the donation today, and it ended up being £1,046. So that's over twice what we managed last year, which is great.
Wow, good effort. Well done, guys. And also well done to everyone that watched and contributed. Hats off.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We couldn't have done it without all the people that donated and stuff. So
yeah, no, well done.
Yeah, good stream. There's some interesting clips. A bit of pie face clips and a bit of vomiting clips and Brussels sprouts are disgusting. Brussels sprouts are freaking disgusting. You'd think that a radio DJ would sort out his headset, right?
I think the problem is
I'll sort you out in a minute.
Yeah.
I just don't like wearing headphones and using a mic.
Is that not what you do as a radio DJ? I'm sure that like every DJ I've ever seen is set up exactly like this with a microphone and a headset.
Does this look like radio to you, mate?
No, but god damn, you sound good when you do that.
I'm the only one without headphones now. I feel
you like it when I'm nice and close? You like that ASMR?
I can bring the mic in at least.
Pants?
Pants.
Oh, man. All right, let's have a look at these chats. Yes.
All them girls out there be sitting in puddles.
Oh, well, look at that. Bang, right on top of it. Thank you very much, Jason. Thank you.
Listen to it.
Oh, come on.
You should be a late night DJ, man.
Oh, shouldn't I ever? Late night, all night.
Call me you lonely ladies
DJ
out there.
DJ Feelgood, come right in.
Up late with Bilsy.
Well, you've got a face for radio, so you should do it.
Oh, don't I ever? Sorry, look at Rick. Sorry, April. She instigated it.
I didn't do anything.
I need a mic like you three off a boom arm.
Yeah, that's the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
I got one, but it's on the other table. I couldn't be bothered moving. This one sounds okay now, and it won't cut out, and no echo, which is good. All right, where are we at? All right, no, let's Scareback. Unfortunately, we did. I need that SpongeBob splash screen. Yes, unfortunately, we did not get to go to Scareback.
No.
We missed that. We did plan on doing it. Hey, Bill.
Yeah. This was the year that we were looking at going, and but the way the world is, even next year looks unrealistic yet. But it is on the plans. It is on the bucket list.
And we didn't even get an event brick. Unfortunate.
No.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list too.
Yeah.
Did we talk about? Remember how last time we had a chat too? Just a quick one before we start talking about the actual thing. Did we remember how we're talking about the Lego Master set, and then they actually made that one with the L and the M? Did we talk about that on stream? Did we show that up on stream and stuff?
We did.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, yeah. So I mean, I can only find the grey and white one that we actually talked about. This one, but I can't find it now, but I seen it yesterday. There is actually a red and yellow set to be released. I seen someone post it. It was someone at the American, whatever the American show is on at the moment, or it was on this weekend. Someone was talking about it at that show to Manny. I think it was Manny. One of the first seasons of the US one. Yeah. One of the guys from that was at that show and was talking about that, it's going to come out as a set and blah, blah, blah. And then he had a photo with it like on the little mound. So
have you got one yet?
No, normally, they ask you for an address. I haven't even got that email yet.
Have you seen any of Lego Masters anywhere around the world that have posted that they've received one? Or
Not Denmark. Yeah, Denmark.
Denmark have got them.
Okay.
Denmark have them with the letter that says, didn't I thought I read it out to you that last time.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That one, 500 getting released, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, but no, nothing here yet. And I don't think anything that, in the Australian or the any ones that we talk to, the American one or So watch this space, I guess, really. Yeah. I mean, I hope it comes. I mean, we could obviously just make it ourselves. It's not that hard.
No, that's true. But still, it'd be good to get a boxed one and it's a big event.
Bit of memorabilia.
Well, if you're on the show, you should have got one, or get one eventually at least.
Well, those on the show bloody got really cool drink bottles, and I think Jordan might have nicked one. I mean, I thought we were going to get them, we're all being nice and waited, not just for the crew.
Season 3 got aluminium Lego Master branded drink bottles.
We got nothing.
Yeah.
We got nothing like some seasons of Lego Masters might get in the future. I'm just saying.
Hey, Parker,
hey, champion. Brick was Bilsy on the show. Okay, let's talk about this show. So obviously it's a very hot topic at the moment, especially this week. USA finishing up. The finale was done. Our season was just finished over in England. First question, I guess, before we start talking about social media having a bit of an excitement for the last few days. Do you reckon England are going to make their own in our style? They had the first two original shocking ones. Not shocking, kid driven, yeah. Do you reckon
it's where ours originated from. So if they didn't have that disaster, we would never have got anything. So you've got to give it credit for being bad enough for the Australian ones to reinvent it and then everyone else to go, that's how you do it. So, and then America went, no, what's yours? And fuck it up. But
accurate.
But yeah, potentially there could be a British revamp, a decent caliber one. So a lot of talented builders over there. So,
I mean, especially since the how successful this version of it's been.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd be a bit different, I guess. It'd be good. People are obviously gonna try get into it like they have all of our ones. But yeah, I mean, I guess the kids one is as well. Rick, we can see your messages. We're just not gonna we're not gonna talk about it, buddy. Not gonna happen, mate. Shout out to Mr. Rick Foster too, the world's latest game streamer. Did you see he's been pushing his gaming streaming systems and that lately? Hope you go well on what's the Minesweeper? Is that the old Windows XP? Minesweeper and Solitaire. You do you, brother. Go strong. All right. So
is that Rick from Rick James Brooks?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to talk about that Instagram post, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Let's throw context out there. So, as we said, our version of the season 1 of the Australian Lego Masters aired in England, just finished, completed. So everyone's in love with Henry at the moment. The love, the hate, the characters, the reality TV has raised its head. And I guess because England's a much bigger population, more people have obviously bitten this time, more people are watching it. And, I'd be interested to see if it ever gets aired in the States. So most people have obviously, they're getting onto the whole how me and Kay all worked together. It's how, I guess, you're looking at it, and this is the big question. You look at it from, say, the left side of things, and it's edited, it's fake TV. I wasn't like that. It's how it was cut, blah, blah. And then you look at it from the other side of things. Well, you still technically said them things. That's how you still kind of acted. Yeah, they might have cut it and edited it the way they did, but it's still, reality. So I guess the biggest question would be, and I guess you guys know more than most because, you know a lot of actual Lego Masters, and I don't hide nothing, but, do you see it as a reality TV show or a competition type show or just straight, here's what it is, entertainment?
I mean, I think that all sort of competition shows these days fall under the umbrella of reality television because there's still editing that's done, of course, to, fit whatever they want to have shown to get ratings. If it was just the straight competition, it would probably be really boring. Just people sitting building for 12 hours and then, oh, you're done. Here, let's look at it. Oh, great. You win.
kind of like the US one. Jason, Keflin creative editing can change perception and portrayal. Yeah, it can to some degree, but you still need to give them the content to edit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Editing helps. And it's not like the editing, when you watch, they get president speeches and they cut one word from 500 different speeches. It's not like that hardcore edited. You know what I mean?
No.
Henry, one thing you can't fake is the Lego. Yeah. And this isn't really a stab at Kale. And trust me, as most of you guys know, it's I've talked about it a million times. It's more of the actual show. Do you see it as now, is it becoming, or was it ever a drama show, or was it actually, a show on Lego? Because a million times you'll read it, the only reality TV show I watch is going to be Lego Masters, but is it reality or is it actually a Lego? Where's the line?
It's definitely it's definitely scripted reality. All reality is. I mean, anyone that watches reality TV and thinks it's unscripted, then they need to be watching like YouTube or something, not commercial television, because there's a big difference between real and reality. So I think as far as reality TV shows go, Lego is probably the least in your face, obvious scripted one, and more about the Lego or the topic at hand. But you only have to look at reality TV over the last 20 years and watch how much it's changed. From, you look back at the very first season of something like Big Brother to a latter season, and the first season was so unscripted and raw, and now it's all 20-year-old girls in bikinis that have more silicone in them than bloody bunnies. It's like that's just how it's evolved. And even you take the beast of reality shows like Survivor. It was one of the original ones, now up to 40 seasons. If you go back and watch the very first season, just little things like the rules and the contraband and the roughness compared to now, it's completely different setup. For the better or worse, I don't know, but the scripting is there, the provoking of reality, the way they want people to be portrayed and go is absolutely there. So, and I think we all know that we're naive.
So say for instance, go back to your Big Brother metaphor, so to speak, how that's changed or edited, whatever way you're going to do it. Flip it around, they can't exactly. You're building Lego. They're not taking away your bricks and saying, haha, survive with that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Yeah, they have briefs, they have, but you're not exactly injecting drama.
No, you're not. And I think based on the next season of the Australian Lego Masters at least, and maybe one more, that'll be it. They will then completely revamp it, rebuild it, turn it on its head, do a kids version, do something else completely different, because otherwise it is becoming stale and boring and repetitive. New people is only interesting for so long unless they're special characters that you can laugh at 3 years later. It only lasts for so long before you've got to revamp it, which is things like what we've seen on Big Brother and Survivor. If you don't evolve it and tweak it and push it in the way you want it to go, it's not. Exactly. Christmas specials is a great example. So you've got to do something new rather than same old.
But don't you think that, like, just because there's not drama in Lego, like the people who cast these shows are casting them with people in mind that are going to be entertaining, and part of that is people who they think are going to be dramatic.
Oh, sure. They need to find characters. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Hands down. They need to find characters. Yeah. And I guess that's the genius of being a producer. You know, you've got to pick that up really quick on an interview and an audition, and, you know, fingers crossed that you hope A and B clash or A and B get together, or, you know, there's a sexy hot love scene. What's up, Miller and Caitlin? You know what I mean? Things like that. Fleur, what'd you write? So let's go through these. From my perspective, there wasn't anything in editing at all that prepared in light. Well, yeah, and I was the same. There's nothing on there that I'm ashamed of, or, you know, that I wasn't, not me. Fleur, I think part of the scripting is in the casting. If you had all the incredible builders but introverts, it wouldn't be entertaining. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and you know that is a thing too. A lot of geniuses are introverts, and they're not going to adapt to the camera.
Let's face it. There's a million Lego builders that are so talented, but you wouldn't put them on TV. Just like there's there's a million artists that you wouldn't put on TV, because sometimes to get that creative genius, you're just not that sociable type of entertaining person. Like a lot of musicians can be superstars on stage, and as soon as they're off the stage, cower in the corner because
Andy, people smile too much on that show. Did you not watch G? I don't think he cracked a smile until the end. Rick, I think personally, Adam can't eat honest video. Mate, we've tried to do honest. I've invited him a million times. It'll never happen because, I mean, I guess the perks of me being a radio host for 10 years, I've got to come back for everything. And if not, I'll just hit hang up. Heard through the grapevine that the seasons have progressed on Lego Masters, teams have had help. Well, there you go. That's maybe. You never know. Maybe they pick the drama first and Lego second, and they need that help. But
yeah,
Fleur, I swore that many times it didn't make it to air. Come on, Fleur. You're more ladylike than that. Aussie, Paco, that's why I don't go. They'll never get no drama from me. Come on, mate. That's not the reason why. That's come on. Oh, it's not, you know, you could make the Lego, even though our season obviously had the most fun drama to watch, or the most relative, and trust me, going by Twitter. So let me show you a screen I wanted to show today. Like I was telling you guys off air, I wasn't going to show you off air, but I'll show you now. This has got to be one of the like scoffed at comments that I've seen come out of England, especially. Like, I mean, I know I shouldn't laugh at that, but the amount of like, and trust me, and the other thing I've realized I've noticed this time around with England being part of and watching it all, the amount of population, the amount of messages I'm getting is like, especially on Twitter, I'm getting pumped like you wouldn't believe. Like, and most of them are fairly good in that, but some of them are like, yeah, you know, you don't need to. And trust me, I can bag Kale out of one a million times, but it's not. I'm not here, and didn't make this, and we're not talking tonight to bag Kale out. It's got nothing to do with that. And you know, I've told you guys and everybody else a million times over, he's an insane friggin' builder. You can't knock the way he builds. It's just he didn't grab that personality. That he doesn't see the good of what come out of it. I guess you know, not a what's the word for it? An entertainer. In that sense.
Yeah, I guess his purpose was more to focus on the build and not play for the camera.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where, you know, things were a bit different or things got a bit lost. You know, and
I think Kale certainly played for the camera, and he still does with the content that he creates, but it's not the kind of
he had no control. What the hell is that?
Someone's freezing.
I know what
it's Bilsy. It has to be Bilsy.
It was me. It was me. What? What's wrong with it? It's nice. It's relaxing.
I
told you.
Copyright strike in a minute.
Big boat horn in the beginning.
But yeah, I think that wasn't the music.
I think the way that Kale come across was just not sort of the right look for what they were after.
Yeah. Okay,
No.
so here, Brickles is kind of close to it, I think. He played for the camera but wanted to be the only focus. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And yeah, it's I guess that, you know, if you go in expecting something and it doesn't play out, you're going to find 5 million excuses to work out why it wasn't you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's no denying that our season I've watched obviously all 3 of ours, the American first one. You know, there's no doubt that ours was, I guess, you know, the big tick controversial / we done it first, you know. But also Lego doesn't need a villain. Totally doesn't need a villain. The show didn't need a villain, but it created one and it was fun. Delete me and Kale out. Who else would have been the controversy in our season? You know, there wasn't. I mean, G was kind of tickling it, but there was no.
Shirts. It would have to be Jimmy's shirts.
They
were always controversial.
Nah. I just wish, like, you know how some shows they always release later on, you know, the uncut, unedited type stuff. And then, it's like, it's funny when you see a lot of people say, you know, oh, why doesn't Bilsy just tell him to shut the fuck up? You know, I can't believe. Watch the unedited stuff. That's where, you know, that's where the golden stuff would be. You know, people thought Henry was a nice family man. Watch the unedited stuff. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Danushi, Jesus. Danushi needs her own bloody OnlyFans for, you know, just say.
Oh.
It's all right. She doesn't watch our stream, so we can talk about her. It's sweet.
No.
Oh, Henry's still in the chat. Oh, damn. Hi, Henry. How are you, buddy? At least he agrees. It's funny, but it's true. It is. And you know what? It's you know, it's what you see is what you get. And yeah, there might be, you know, it might need drama to spice it up a bit, but it's not a reality TV show to be a TV show. You know, people are still watching it for the Lego as a competition for Lego. So I think personally, that's the core. It's not maybe now that especially I've seen, what did I watch? The first episode of Your One April, season 2, and then the finale. And it's even worse than the first, as in not a Lego show, if that makes sense, compared to the other ones.
It's absolutely not. I can't watch it. I can't. As an AFOL, I can't watch it because of the audience that they're obviously trying to target is not AFOLs. It's kids and families that aren't really Lego people that are just like, hey, this is this cool competition show with Lego involved.
Yeah.
Don't you call them Legos?
Depends which state you're in.
I'm pretty sure every American I've talked to call them Legos. But you know, even if you look at the Australian one, you're looking at it, who do you think they'll, you know, I'd say they're still trying to throw it to that same audience. You know, it just worked out, edited different, I guess.
They just don't put that hyper extenuated drama in there and unnecessary BS. Like, you know,
I mean, none of the American guys even got a theme song. We got theme songs per person. You know, you knew when Kale's coming on screen, you got that 80s porn music and he was on. You know, red jacket, bong, 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 bong. You know, it was him.
I think that it has to be that much extra for Americans because they're so used to it for so many seasons of every competition show of everything. It's all, you know, anything that's a competition show where there should be skill involved, it's more about the sob story or the drama or whatever, your own personal stuff. And that, you know, paints a picture there. And it doesn't really matter if you're that good or not, because then somebody's going to feel bad for you and vote for you.
Yeah.
Waltzing Matilda isn't a theme song. Who would have got Waltzing Matilda? What? No one got Waltzing Matilda. I was just talking about the funky 80s porn music. It was dramatic at its best.
Yeah.
One thing which I guess I seen from, actually I think it was the Denmark one as well. Every one of their builds, they kept and turned them into instructions, and you can rebuild them.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Like the contestants, ours were like straight away, no, it's our IP. You can't even build it for an upcoming show. We're not releasing it. Yeah. I'll find it. But yeah, it's like, man, I wish you've, because I'd build Henry's builds all day long.
Yeah. Lego did.
Yeah. Jody, we didn't get theme songs and I was portrayed exactly as I am. I cry a lot and wear my heart on my sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Screw making instructions, too much effort. Yeah, you got people that do that for you, mate. We can't afford that.
Yeah. You just get your ideas department on it.
Here we go. Esben from the Danish one. So they were displaying all their here we go. So I'm displaying our actual models from the final episode at the Scareback fan weekend. Has anybody else displayed the actual models? And someone wrote, no, we didn't get to keep it. They scratched it. And then he wrote, so in Denmark, Lego Nordics end up taking over the models from the production company as they could see a potential in displaying them at conventions. We're allowed to borrow the model and bring it to Scareback, and they said yes. And then further on down, they said they made instructions for people to rebuild it.
Yeah, wow.
So not bad. I mean,
Brickles had a good point there. How good would it have been if? Hey Annie, how good would it have been if they'd kept the builds from, or multiple builds from all 3 seasons and done a Brickman style show around the country?
Do you reckon people would go to it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if in the individual states they then got locals from that area. Like, there's a few of you guys in Queensland, there's a few in Sydney, there's a few in Melbourne, a few in Adelaide, a few in that other side of the country. Like if you did a show around, it's a way to tie you guys back into it a little bit as well.
Henry nailed it.
Yeah, I was just going to say exactly what Henry said. I think half that stuff is literally just holding on by a thread for the show until it gets judged.
I'm
Sneeze
sure
on it and it'll fall over.
Brickman's team would have rebuilt it more structure, because by the time they did the show, from the time it aired on TV, people wouldn't remember if the treehouse looked like that or whatever Henry and Kay did build. So, you could have done some structural integrity work on it.
I suppose if you're an insane fan of the show and as a family you love the show and you're like, hey, come into Queensland next week, come and see all the builds you saw on TV in person, you'd go for sure.
I think you would too.
Hundreds of hours a week. Yeah, I don't know if it'd be value for them. And do people really want to go and see half a DeLorean? Just saying. Tom Stark's back with another mate. This guy just wants me to get copyright strike. I'm telling you, every week. Credit to Tom though. He's done it every episode, bar about 2 or 3 for the last year at least.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, the first 6 months was Katy Perry every week, but he's Troy said there's an idea for Lego to pursue when submissions go to ideas, they don't pass muster. Bricklink are trying to do that, similar to that. They're trying to catch ideas that didn't really make it through. Actually, Brent, because you're in the chat, have you got a date or a sneaky date yet for the Bricklink designer stuff? As yours is coming up next.
Yeah.
April, I'm going over to your one if you can remember from the first season. Would there be a set you'd be actually interested in going to see, or sets, or just in general? Would you go and see if they did like a tour?
I only watched the first maybe 3 episodes, so
in general, then would that interest you? I'm only asking you because
I'd probably go.
Okay.
I'd probably go if they did some kind of show that was built, the builds from Lego Masters. Yeah, I'd probably. Go.
What though? You know what it'd be full of? AFOLs telling you how much better they can build it than you did.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't think I'd go to the American one though, to see it. If I was there and it came to a town near me and it was free entry, I don't think I'd go. I'd go to the Australian one, and I'd go if there was a collaborative European one. But I don't think I'd go to. I'd rather go to Legoland and see
it's 10:30.
model.
Oh. We literally just talked over Bill between our own conversation.
Yeah, I know.
we heard you talking about Bill that you know our builds are better than. Hey Henry, if you're still in the chat, can I show everyone your build that you sent me, or are you keeping that to show people later on? Henry built a really cool figure type person. I want to show you guys. Brent had a 12-year-old telling him that he could build a better bat cave than the huge one he made.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I got a fat no from Henry. Keep an eye on Henry's page. He's about to release something cool. Andy, there's hardly any ideas or expert creator stock at some retailers at the moment. Is Aussie and USA having the same supply issues? I haven't really shopped for an idea set lately, but I've seen. No, I think we're pretty good actually at the moment.
Yeah, there's plenty in Aussie at the moment. Although I have heard that we're about to get a whole lot of retail strikes and issues with shipping over the next 60 days. So be interesting what Christmas brings.
Gavin, or they say, I have a set at home to your mock with hundreds of hours of work in it.
Yeah,
that's a very common one. Look at Dan and Green's like, yep.
Yeah,
I've got that at home.
Do you know how many Tui Breweries people have told me they've built?
Yeah. No, you don't. You come in and see it, you dick.
Yeah, why aren't you here? Why aren't you?
Okay, talking about kids reaming you out for stuff at Lego shows. I had this kid full on ream me out. He was about 12 years old, 13 at the most. Full on ream me out about using Lego to promote beer because I built the Tui Brewery. How could you use Lego to promote beer? That's disgusting.
Give him a couple years.
Really terrible. I'm like, bruh, it's just a brewery, man. I don't even like Tui. It's disgusting. I think it's disgusting that you used Lego to promote beer. Oh.
That sounds like that. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like the kid walked by the display with his mom, and his mom was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that."
No, you know what? It wasn't. No, his dad was embarrassed by it. His dad was seriously embarrassed by it.
I could guarantee, though, give it, what did you say he was, like 12, 13? Give it 2 or 3 years, and he would come back past and have an entirely different opinion on beer and breweries. No.
Yeah. Hey, I totally different topic again, or different subject. I literally just got a message just then saying, "Hey, I've got a DJ gig from 9 to 12 tomorrow for a kids' Lego day. Are you interested?"
Do it.
Oh, I've got normal work to do, but I mean, I could have a sickie.
Cool holidays.
Andy, you need a water pistol for kids like that, full of Tui beer.
Yeah, with we in it.
Funny as. I didn't even know there was any kids things on tomorrow. I mean, even if I'm not DJing, I should just go play Lego. Why not? Brent, I thought not allowed around kids. It's okay when I'm behind a DJ booth. I'm safe behind the DJ booth. It's the Macca's playgrounds that get me in trouble.
What?
What?
Oh my god.
So people in the chat, other than Rick, no one else has been, very talkative. How in general did you guys find the show? From entertaining versus reality versus a challenge show. Did you not see enough of X, Y, Z? Did you want to see more drama, emotions, or more? I mean, as Lego people, we said it a million times. We always want to see more about the builds. Always more about the builds.
Yeah.
But if you really do take the TV stance of it, and it is a reality TV show, did we see enough tears? I mean, Jodie said earlier she's a bit of a sook, but no one really cried until you're getting eliminated.
I haven't watched anything in past season 1 of Australia. But I felt like even Brickman cried a couple of times when people had to go. So
yeah, he's genuine dude.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know whether he's carried that on through the later seasons or not. Whether he's cried when people have had to go, but
well, you'll have to stop boycotting it and watch it.
I'm not boycotting it. I just
what happened?
I
What
find
they were doing
that
is
interesting
because the first season did struck heartstrings with him. They were genuine tears. But because season 2 and 3 weren't so heartstruck with him, they just quickly cut him from season 1. They edited over him for the season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And you watch now. Annie and Jody are going to get at me in the chat.
Yeah.
I feel like
a blue shirt.
I feel like it's the same, and this is no disrespect to any contestants on any show, but
Jody,
when they saturate the market with them, they just people, you get saturated with it, and and it's going to be the same with New Zealand now. New Zealand's going to be doing Lego Masters filming. First season will come up next year, but at the time that comes on TV at some point, there's going to be the Australian version and probably the US version on as well. And it's just like, how much can you watch, really?
Do
how
you
much
think
Lego stuff can you watch?
That's a fair comment. Do you think we're at that saturated point now? Do you think enough is enough?
Yep.
So we've never had any other countries air in Australia.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it seems like it's been pretty contained. Like when I watched the Australia season 1 while it was being filmed, that wasn't being shown here. Like I downloaded those, so and I haven't seen any other international ones, just what we have. So is there actually a saturation point? Because
it's only because we
see,
because we see it all. Maybe that's why we think it's saturated.
Oh, I think it's saturated because we get the Australia and the US version on TV here.
Yeah,
so next year, if they carry on down that, there'll be the New Zealand, Australia, and the US version on TV.
Yeah, see where we only got obviously the Australian. We might get the New Zealand, I'm thinking, but you okay? Well, then you made a good point there as well, April. You imagine if the Australian one got aired publicly and properly, like it has been in England. Imagine us having this conversation in 6 months' time. How huge the love-hate would be then. That would be through the roof.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to watch the best season ever made, season 1 Australia dubbed in Italian or Korean. That shit's funny. that is really good.
No, can we get actually? You know what you should do, Henry? Can you redo our season in redubbing Bogan or Vietnamese? Broken Vietnamese. We should get Henry on just to do the broken Vietnamese because God, he's good at it. And I'm not being racist; like he actually genuinely is good at it. I was about to do it then, but I thought maybe crossing the line.
Yeah.
Who knows these days? Obviously, we're not cancelled yet, so we're still going all right. 78 episodes down, we're doing all right. No tantrums like OT, which is good. People actually have with others who win. How there's no negative. Yeah, okay. You soft person. Yeah, he does legit cry. We know. We just gene him up. Stop the spoiler commercials. It ruins them to the point that you know how it all will end up. That never really happened on season 1, though, did it?
No, not so much on season 1, but more and more as the seasons progressed. It really, if you watch the ads close enough, you saw way too much. But any TV shows like that. I can't think of a movie trailer I haven't seen lately that hasn't completely told you the movie from start to finish in a 3-minute clip.
And some movies, that's all that's good in the movie is the trailer.
Exactly.
I'm looking at you, Rock. Every movie you've made, mate. Stu's got a good point, right? He says he thinks it's genuine. That's why probably people enjoy it more other than other reality shows. It doesn't seem to be the bullshit or the drama. Here's a question for all three of yous. And you all obviously have watched season 1 and the other ones. Out of our one, because obviously that's the best one I can answer for, do you think anything was pumped up as in extra drama or extra bullshit? Like the half a DeLorean build, we built half a DeLorean. I mean, they've just made it, they centralized it. But, can you ever think of anything you think, oh, come on, that's a bit much?
No, I think, for sure there was. But I think it was done so much more subtly than other reality shows that it wasn't as in our face or anything to the point of annoying us. So absolutely, I'm sure that they drag things up. Like I remember in shorts where they've showed you something drop and it's like, oh, da, 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 but in reality that was like in the brick pit on a pre-build and had no relation.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely. But I don't think it was done in a way that was annoying. So, yeah.
There was one bit, I can't remember even where it was. I just remember thinking back then, like it made me laugh, that they showed me and Kale building something. Then they talked to me building it. about building. I can't even remember what it was now. I think it was in the dinosaur build. Building something, talking about building it. Kale did something wrong. Bilsy, you're doing right. Then they went back to whatever was built, and it was really good built, but it was Kale's build, but it just assumed and was edited to look like I built it. I can't remember what it was, but I looked at it thinking, I didn't build that, but I'll take the credit you just gave me. It was something small, like I can't remember. It was like might have been the dinosaur egg or the caveman eating the food or something. Something real tiny, but yeah, it was just like, wasn't me.
That's funny.
But yeah, and I think that's what, and to be honest, going to Kale's good side of, their whole fake TV, I think that's what he focused on a lot of. He's technically, he's worked hard, he done good builds, and then all he sees is, I built that, not Bilsy. I built that, it wasn't Bilsy. That was all, and he forgets about everything else and just focuses on that. Was that the dinosaur head that was too big? No, that was all Kale. 100% that was all Kale. Ain't no mistake in that friggin' oversized dinosaur head that sent me home.
Yeah.
Season 1 is in Ireland and UK. Yeah, I think they just showed the finale, Si. That's why we're talking about it. I seen Henry post today a big, thank you for everyone watching and showing Henry some big love. If you didn't see it, spoiler alert. I did see on Twitter that a lot of people thought that Dave and G's should have won that one as well. So that was another thing that kept coming. But I mean, you only get that. That's the arguments you want in the challenge competition type shows. You want them arguing about whose was better. No, get stuffed. The roller coaster was better. No, that's the stuff you want, not the
Don't tell me they were robbed.
Yeah, that's the arguments you want to see. I can't wait to see the New Zealand one. It's like, he only won because he had an extra goat or a sheep. They're the arguments we need, not the fuck. Did you see what he said about him? What a dickhead. Let him build. Andy said auditions must be coming up soon unless they have already picked. Well, clearly you're not going to them.
Well, given that application's only closed on Friday, I think it was.
Oh, they're not going to move that quick.
Yeah.
Well, we all know, and Andy knows as well, that they've already started the process with the early applicants. So
whispers, except for when
I
the
like
trials
it how
get
he just like quietly drops that shit there in the chat, and he knows exactly what's going on because he's applied.
He's playing the game. Smart little man.
Yeah.
Laugh emojis afterwards.
And Andy, what we need somebody to drop the info that was dropped on us last week. So come on, man.
Did Dan get the host role?
It can't be me. Nah, they'll never give me the host role. They don't have camera lenses wide enough, mate.
He wanted Ellen money. They could only afford,
Ellen money.
Yeah. He wanted Ellen type of level of money and makeup.
They could that much money.
They could only afford Brock's money.
I don't think they've announced the host yet, to be honest.
They're going to send Hamish over.
That's still a mystery.
Jody, Jody's got a bit of a point there, except for when the trolls get personal. And I know Fleur got a bit of heat from Keyboard Warriors as well. And I think that's where I got lucky. I never got, other than you guys, I never got much shit on the net. You guys give it to me the worst. And I can deal with that.
But it's all from a place of love, okay? That's all.
Call it whatever you want,
Trolls.
I don't think,
Trolls.
That's the only reason why we keep coming back.
Yeah, right?
I'm your weekly release, you punching bag. Brent, I only come here to troll you. Well, when you've got no money and you just live off, milking copyrighted and branded stuff, there's nowhere else to go, is there?
Oh.
What, Seasons in Time? You probably ripped that off a kid's show, didn't you? I love that Brent still keeps coming back. We give him so much, or I give him so much shit and he keeps coming back. That's the best.
It's because we stream on Mondays and there's nothing better on.
Has the Aussie prize money stayed the same since season 1? So
yes,
was 2 and 3 the same? 100 grand.
100 grand, yep, for the winners. Yeah. So yeah, it was 100 grand, Andy. 100 grand and They didn't do it until Henry cried, but they give him a trophy as well. Full size Brickman makes a trophy for them.
Yeah, but do they get one each?
Yeah,
one trophy each. They don't have to share it between the team.
Oh, Brent got me good. Hang on, I'm trying to list the things you've done. There, I'm done. I'll give you that one. See, I think it was just as much airtime. That was good.
That was awesome.
And yeah, so is the trophy the most important part? You bet, Michael, it is the most important part. I tried to steal Cade's once. He almost had
it has to be the most important part if you're going to apply for Lego Masters New Zealand.
Yeah. So from whispers that I've heard over there, that New Zealand can't afford to pay the winners for Lego Masters. You're gonna have to try. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of. There's no cash prize. There has to be some sort of prize. You can't do it just for the love and a couple of yellow bricks glued together. Sure.
That's what happens in New Zealand, mate. Remember that time way back when the stream that got deleted and I said that Lego Masters New Zealand would be the poor second cousin.
Yeah.
I to be honest, I genuinely thought that the prize money for New Zealand would be less than Australia. I thought it would be the half or maybe 10K each.
Yeah, okay.
I did not expect it.
So anyone that is watching that is going to be, and you do go good on that, milk the social media side of it. That's the biggest and best, I guess, advantage. There's no cash prize at the end. If that's what you're aiming for, winner gets a Toblerone, free Lego would be nice. A free poly bag. There you go. Get a random poly. Get a San Diego Comic-Con poly bag. It's just as much as $100,000 these days.
Yeah.
Joe,
I just think
everything. Yeah, that sucks.
I just feel bad for the, I just feel bad for the people that are, or that do win it eventually. That, they've got nothing to show for it except for a trophy, which is great. But it was pointed out to me because I had a lot of people message me about it when that information was released, and they're not happy about it. Like most people are like, well, that's cool. I'm the experience is important. And, and somebody even said to me along the lines of, well, I spend thousands of dollars on making mocks for shows and get a small plastic bloody trophy for a prize or whatever. So it's not too dissimilar, but that's the typical thing of the good nature of New Zealanders. Like we do a lot of stuff for nothing, and like clubs and schools, and there's all sorts of things where they just would not survive without volunteers essentially giving up their time and their money and their own resources to go and do things. And now to have this sort of advantage taken of Lego Masters contestants, I guess, in a sense, to go and create a show for a company to make money off it, because they will make money off it. I think, it's still a bit sucky. And I don't know how I feel about it. As an applicant, I don't know how I feel about it.
And that's a fair call. Like, you watch every other, especially if you're an applicant that, goes through, gets through all good and gets to the finale, and you've watched every other country pocket ideally $50,000 because you're splitting 50-50, and you get a handshake and a poly bag.
Yeah.
Really?
Look, I never rated myself anyway, and I applied because for me it is more about the experience. Being a content creator, being involved on that side of that content would be fantastic. But I just genuinely, I feel bad for whoever does win. And, you got to stand there in the face of 12 other countries that have done Lego Masters and get nothing for it.
That's the kick in the butt. Yeah, for sure. I just realized too. So I've just been going through some, I was literally just Googling Lego Masters, and then just going by like the last 24 hours to see what was coming up. What's spicy, what are people talking about? And I don't think we've ever talked about, so I even seen this. There's a Lego Masters book that obviously in the US, it's not over here because I haven't seen it here at all.
It has a GWP.
Yeah, and then I seen this one too, a mystery GWP now.
Ooh.
But only, again, not for us UK and Europe. So we never
Yeah.
get the freebies. But yeah, I mean, going back to you, Dan, like you said, I'm sorry to cut it out like that. I don't have a long attention span. The only, they might shock you. They might, hey, all of a sudden, boom, it's going better than we thought. We have money, or we have XYZ as a prize. But there's got to be something at the end. It's not just going to be here's a high five and see you later. There's got to be something.
Yeah, I hope so too. And like Brickles has said something similar there in the chat, but I'm just going to say now that it was explicitly stated to
No money.
Yeah, to everybody that
Yeah.
there was no cash prize because
And see,
people had
it's-
asked apparently.
And it does change the narrative too, because I remember when we're doing the daily interviews, and I'm pretty sure Jody and Annie will be the same as well, that when you go in to do them, the interviews, when they the whole cut back to they talk to you every time. So what will 100,000 do to your life? You're going to play for 100 grand. How much do you need the 100? And, and to Kale's credit, I don't care about the money. I'm just here to build the leg. And, he genuinely did not give a crap about the money, which is, mate, and you got to respect that side of it. And like you said, Dan, he was there for the experience to build, although it might not work in his favor in the end, but the money was kind of, sick. I'll take the money. But, unless you're Henry or Cade, you're still there to take the experience as for what it is. You're on TV, you get your allowance and paid TV pay per week and all that stuff. But I mean, shit, how often? It's a once in a lifetime. No money or not, you're still not going to throw. You're not going to get, hey Dan, tomorrow, Dan, you've made it. Yeah, cool. Come start filming. You're not going to be like, oh no, I'm not going to do it now. I don't want the money. There's no money. You know what I mean? It's not going to stop you from doing it.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But then you're right. You are what you say about that, like that carrot dangling thing, that incentive. What would 100 grand do for you? And that does get you thinking about what that sort of would do for your life and how much you could change. And that's where I think emotion starts to come into play, because you start then thinking, oh man, maybe I could get 50K for my family and make a huge dent in my mortgage, or just go on a massive family holiday, or drop it all at the Lego store.
Yeah, I mean, you could be cheesy and just keep saying, I'm just going to buy more Lego.
Yeah.
Right, but then that plays into the same thing I was talking about earlier, where it's like, does it particularly matter in a skill-based competition how bad anybody needs money more than the other one?
Exactly.
To get on the show?
Hey, and we all waste money on Lego, so we all need money.
Right.
I mean, clearly look at Bill's background. There's probably 100 grand there.
Because otherwise, the whole callback thing for the evening shoot is, so what would Lego Masters do for, what would winning Lego Masters do for you? Give me bragging rights.
Yeah. It's it's funny that it reminds me of when you're a DJ, or when you want when you try collab with someone, or you want some, I'm not going to pay you, but I'll give you free exposure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The whole bane of all artists' existence.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Bilsy, can you come DJ for me? I mean, we won't pay you, but I'll put you on my Instagram, and the exposure you'll get. Exposure to what? What, you think 20 people are going to come pay me now because I played for you for free?
Yeah.
See,
Andy's got a point. This was a question that they did ask in the interview, was like, so what are your reasons for doing it? Blah blah blah. And they talked about money, and me and my partner both said the same thing. We're like, we don't care about the money. We just go in there for the experience.
So
what's
We're just applying for the experience.
And
you know what? I reckon every applicant probably said the same bloody thing, and they're like, right, we just saved ourselves 100 grand.
It's exactly what's freaking happened.
Production crew all at the back. Oh, yeah, boys, get on the rocks.
Every one of you is a fallen sucker because you didn't want to upset any feelings. Oh, no, I'm not really here for the money. They're like, cha-ching, motherfucker.
Production crew all out the back. Make it rain.
Yeah. And then the couple that like, we are kind of here for the money. We need it's good. Not available. Bloody hell. It's just
call back. Oh man, Jesus, if only we'd known we'd get the whole cast for nothing.
Man, it's for some reason, I'm actually excited to see this New Zealand one because I guess it's going to be very aligned like the Australian ones were, as a show, as builders, as we can get them on here and talk shit to them. Type, it's just going to be generally
It's
good.
Yeah, it is. I think there will be negative connotations to it on the New Zealand AFOL community. I can guarantee it right now that there are so many, because we are such a small, tight-knit community and everyone kind of knows everybody. And there's already there's already people that rub things the wrong way within the community, and I'm one of them. And you're going to get people that are in specific Facebook groups that don't allow specific people into other Facebook groups.
Yep.
And there's just
people don't like me.
I tell you, it's going to be feral. It's going to become feral.
Well, see, you say that, but look at, say, all right, so season 4's getting all the auditions and that now here, right, for us. And I know 3 teams that applied, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of them haven't made it through. But out of 2 of them, they're not in the AFOL community. They're not in any lug. They're not known by AFOLs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you might get this New Zealand one come out, and out of, say, if you got 8 teams, I don't know how much teams you having, but say you have 8 teams, you might have 7 that are complete all these fresh, not Lego people, because they're going, like April said earlier, they're going for characters.
That's not going to happen. There'll be, out of 8 teams, I think there's the potential, and this is just my gut, there might be 1 or 2 that are kind of dark horses that aren't known to the community. I can almost guarantee that everybody else would be known. Just from the sheer amount of people that I know from the community that have applied, there is a lot.
Brent's like, groups here that's called, like, the No Bilsies Club. Yeah, it's called Oslug.
Yeah. But in saying that, I think, like, from whatever negativity will come from it, and like the others have said, there's always going to be trolls, and trolleys are going to be trolls.
Yeah.
I think there's still going to be a lot of positivity to come from it as well. And, I think there's the potential for recognized groups to get them behind their teams, because I'm kind of hoping that it ends up that they take a reasonable spread from around the country, and then there's good representation from different lug areas, and then they get behind it, because we're small enough to make it almost like a national bloody thing. Like, the community.
On top of that, like you said, coming out of the negative and positive stuff, it's when, and I said this when we we're filming with Henry and that as well, it's almost to the level of, you go to do a show. So say, the show happens, say, I'll use you as an example, Dan. You get on, you kill it, whatever, you do good. And then the next show you turn up with a Tui brewery that's only not show worthy. I think that's where a lot of people that might not can be thick skinned, that are going to get hurt. If that makes sense. People are going to expect Lego Master builds every single time. You turn up to a show that's something you're friggin' mind-blowingly proud of, but the first person's like, you didn't build this good. You didn't build that on TV, did you? That was all full of shit. You weren't like that on TV. Where's your Lego Master? And someone kind of said it to me before, something along them lines of, and all my reply was, oh, well, it's TV magic. Tough titties. Like, for me, I'm thick-skinned, so I don't give a shit. Call my builds whatever you want, mate. I'll build a set and follow instructions. But yeah, it's the coming out of the show for those that actually make it. That's going to be the pressure on them because they're in the spotlight.
I take shit models to shows anyway, so no different. Yeah. Like, to be fair, I'm totally and 100% relying on my teammate to do all the hard work. He's the creative one,
bro. Work for me.
I'm the support person, dude. That's all I'm gonna be.
I would say
maybe
I was the
ideas,
person, but I was the person.
No, we've talked. I'll be the support person. He's the creative genius.
Just you be the brick pit runner.
I might lose some weight. Gee.
You might get a job with Brickman.
To a Geordie.
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Bang, Geordie did.
You'd be New Zealand Geordie.
The New Zealand flush, bro. You can be the flush.
Hey, our dude's only here for 6 months, so it's not like there's going to be any ongoing jobs or anything.
And you're already RLFM, so it's not like you can go and hunt that down to be the next RLFM. Mate, it's a win-win situation for you. Check you out. You're sitting in the king seat right now.
Let's not get too excited.
Glass half full, brother. Glass half full. I mean, shit. I did Brick Venture with half building a Batman set that your son did and a keyboard. Mate, I did well for a Lego show.
I know.
You know, come at me, bro. I could have built a female robot, but, you know, things happen with hot dog vans. Brickles still think Dan is going to be the host. No, they need a PG, bro. Won't happen.
Yeah.
All right, we've ticked over the hour. I can't believe it actually went really quick, and we've held a pretty good audience. So, you know, we need to do more. Like they say, you know, the controversial stuff sells. That's where we need to keep the topics at. Keep it spicy, but not defamatory. I like it. And the only person we picked on was Brent, so maybe that's why the count up is as well. So either way, we're winning. Thanks everybody for dropping us in. Do you guys have anything exciting and big coming up this week? I mean, every other week is making money and doing charities and just killing life. So you might as well just add to it. You know, what's this week? No, we're just sleeping.
Yeah, absolutely nothing exciting going on this week.
Yeah, it's a normal week.
Catching back up.
Yeah.
Cruisy week. Good
We
stuff.
we do for those lucky enough to be in the Sunshine State, Queensland. We have one of the lugs up here, Bruce Bricks, have a show on this weekend for the long weekend at Chandler. Their
Yes.
annual show, which will be different this year, but still worth checking out. And of course, it's October 1st releases this weekend as well. So
Get your
someone
guitar.
has to tell my kids they're not eating this week because there's too many sets coming out.
Yes, and I'm assuming Brent's going to be there. So if people that want to get their classic 3-in-1 signed, make sure you go and see Brent, because no one owns a Seinfeld set, so they might as well take something else you got at home. Other than that, everybody else, we'll see you next Monday.